Sky fam. So I am just gonna do a quick little story time because I got to tell somebody and I feel like y'all understand and y'all might learn from it. So let's get into this. I am currently sitting in the Raleigh-Durham airport. It is, my watch is dead now too, so it's probably like 9:38, I'm gonna guess, p.m. I was heading home after a 5-day week, and as y'all know, I live in Charlotte, and so Raleigh, the airport by flight is maybe like 35 minutes. It's a really, really quick flight. So it's summertime, it's hurricane season. In the south, we do get some residual rain and things like that. I forgot about these airport announcements. I don't know if y'all are going to hear them or not, since I have frozen. So I was going to head home after a 5-day week. It was actually a really good week, and I was happy to go home. I was on Ready and I had put in an early release request that did not get responded to. And I got on a 2 o'clock flight to go home. I was like number 5 or 6 on the standby list, so I wasn't sure if I was gonna be getting on the flight or not, but I did. So we ended up being in like a holding pattern for a couple of, maybe like 45 minutes or so. And then we were told that we were diverting to Raleigh. So I had a different phone when I just went to Panama, and I don't know if I'm going to get that footage back or not, if it stayed to my iCloud, but I just experienced a diversion on my trip to Panama to a diversion in Colombia. So in the same month, I'm experiencing 2 diversions, both of them because of weather. So finally, after landing, we were told, you know, they were just gonna fuel back up. It's like the middle of the night, so they're cleaning. We were told, you know, they just have to refuel and that we would head to Charlotte. You start working in aviation, you kind of start going through things that you start to learn what's happening. So like, I don't really get upset with things like this just because I know the deal, like what ended up happening, why we had to. So we were going to just fuel and go back to Charlotte if the weather subsided, but then the pilots ended up being illegal, so we had to stay here for the night so that they can get their rest. So that was like, that happens. Like we know we have minimum rest that we have to have. We know how many hours we can work legally a day, and we understand legalities and being legal. So when I get told that a crew is illegal, like what happened on my Panama crew, or my Panama trip, which the same thing happened, the pilots were illegal. Personally, I don't get upset about those things, because if it were me, like, I would want passengers to understand, like, I've been working for 14 or 16 hours and, you know, like, it's really not even safe for me to, you know, be here for your safety at that point. So I was hoping that there was gonna be one more flight out of Raleigh tonight to Charlotte, but that ended up being canceled. And so this is the thing that got me. And y'all, please be nice to everyone that's in or not in aviation watching this. Please be nice to your flight attendants, to your gate agents, because it's just a lot that we're dealing with. But same to, you know, like, because this gate agent was kind of rude, and she was even getting into it with other gate agents, and it's just like when it's already a high-strung situation, that doesn't help, you know. So like that's why I just want to say, be nice to your flight attendants, your gate agents, and typically y'all, like, if especially if you're not in aviation watching this, like, flight attendants usually hear most of what y'all hear at the same time. Like there might be a few things we know before y'all, but there's a lot of times like we're learning information as y'all do. Like it's getting said over the PA and we're learning it as you do. So yeah, but anyways, I was just, on the plane they said that we were going to get a hotel for the night, which is what happened in Colombia. I don't know if it, because I was non-revving, but it was international, that's why they got me a hotel. When I got here, I was told that I would not get a hotel because I was non-revving. One of the agents that was really sweet, she was like, well, I can try to put you on the 5 a.m. It's full, but like someone always misses that flight because it's a 5 a.m. flight, which I've fallen victim to missing a 5 a.m. flight before, so I know exactly what she's talking about. So I was like, yeah, sure. I was like, do you know the hotel that they're putting us in tonight? And she was like, oh, they're not giving you one because you're not revving. And I was like, oh, okay. So luckily I have someone that cares about me enough in Charlotte that they are willing to come and pick me up tonight so that I can finally make it home. But yeah, so I'll just be waiting here for probably like another hour and a half until they get here. But this has been very interesting. And another thing that was interesting is that they were saying like all the passengers weren't gonna get hotels, like only some of them were. But I have never come across that before, especially since it just happened this month, and I don't know if because it was international, like I said, that I was non-revving, that they still provided me the same hotel as they provided every other passenger. I don't know. I mean, maybe if I never said that I wasn't crew, then maybe, you know, I would have gotten a hotel. I don't know. I guess I'm going to look at my own manual and see what it says about it, because I'm very curious to know what all the policies are within that. So yeah, that was my little spiel on this commuting struggle. Like there's a good bit of people that are based in Chicago that commute out of Charlotte, because honestly there's always like another commuter on my flights, especially that are like the first flights out in the morning, because there's like a 6:45 and a 7:25 flight out of Charlotte to Chicago every single morning, and there's always commuters on it. And I get asked a lot, especially by like my pilots and captains that I work with, like how is commuting from Charlotte, because American to Chicago are two major base-to-base locations for American, and honestly it has not been very difficult for me to commute in, but lately it has been difficult for me to commute out of Chicago and get back to Charlotte. Last week I had to go all the way to Indianapolis just to connect there to go home, because all the flights out of Chicago were either overbooked or, you know, just overbooked. So this is probably like 2 weeks in a row now that I'm having difficulty getting home. So yeah, I have some concerns about commuting in the winter with Chicago, with how heavy the snow and the weather is. I've never really experienced weather like that in the winter, like living in it, especially not working in it, and so I kind of have some concerns with that, but we'll see. By the time weather is that much of a factor, I should have a line, and so that might help me balance some things out as well. But yeah, I will keep you updated. I hope to not have too many commuting struggle stories, but I think for now I'm gonna make it its own little series, its own little playlist, and I'll let y'all know when I make it home.